7 days, 1 week, 168 hours. You think it's not enough time. You think transformation is a slow drip, a gradual grind measured in months and years. You've been told to be patient, to wait, to trust a process that never seems to start. What if I told you that's a lie? What if I told you that the person you are today, the one held back by doubt, by comfort, by the invisible chains of yesterday, that person can be gone? Not in a year, not in a month, in 7 days. Become unrecognizable, not to the world first, but to yourself, so that when you catch your own reflection in the mirror, in your choices, in the silence of your own mind, you have to look twice. The old you is a ghost, a fading photograph, a story you no longer tell. This is not about mere change. This is about demolition and reconstruction. This is about a revolution of the self, compressed into the crucible of a single week. And it begins not with your hands, but with your eyes. You wake up on day one, and you do not check your phone. You do not scroll through the digital world that someone else built. You sit in the silence, and you ask yourself the single most dangerous question you can ask. Who am I when no one is watching? Not who you pretend to be. Not who you post about being. Not who your parents think you are or your boss expects you to be. Strip all of that away. The costumes, the titles, the polite lies. Who are you? And then you ask the second question, the one that brings the sweat to your palms. Who am I willing to become? This is where most people fail. They want the result, the success, the body, the peace, but they are unwilling to become the person who earns that result. They want the harvest without becoming a farmer, the title without enduring the trials. On day one, you must define with violent clarity the exact person you will commit to becoming. Write it down, not goals, identity. I am a person of discipline. I am a vessel of focus. I am a relentless learner. I am unshakable in the face of noise. See that person so clearly you can smell the air around them. Feel their calm. See the look in their eyes. That is your blueprint. That is the ghost of your future self, and for the next 7 days, you will haunt your own life until that ghost becomes flesh and bone. You cannot become unrecognizable if you don't know what you're becoming. Clarity is not kind. It shows you the chasm between where you stand and who you must be. It is the first and most necessary violence you commit against a life of ambiguity. Now you have a vision, a target. Day 2 is where you load the weapon. You will build a single unbreakable ritual, not a to-do list, a ritual. There's a difference. A list is a series of tasks. A ritual is a sacred act that reaffirms your new identity. It starts the moment you open your eyes. That first thought, that first action, it sets the tone for the entire battlefield of your day. Do you reach for distraction, or do you reach for purpose? For the next 7 days, your first waking hour is not yours. It belongs to the person you are becoming. It might be movement. It might be study. It might be meditation or prayer or writing. It is the deliberate, non-negotiable programming of your mindset. Why? Because the world is designed to program you its way. The alerts, the news, the demands, the drama, they are all shouting to shape you. If you do not deliberately program yourself, you will be programmed by default. And default is mediocre. Default is average. Default is recognizable. The ritual is your armor. It's you saying, before the world gets its hands on me, I have already defined myself. It creates a spine of discipline where there was once the jelly of reaction. I knew an actor early on, he had a ritual. Every day, rain or shine, broke or paid, he'd go to the theater, not to perform, to sit in the empty seats, to smell the dust in the old wood, to read lines aloud to an empty house. People thought he was crazy. No one's here, they'd say, but he wasn't doing it for them. He was doing it for him. He was building the ritual of belonging to that space long before he was ever invited to belong. That ritual built the man who could command the stage when the lights finally came on. Your ritual is your private rehearsal for the person you are becoming. Do not skip the rehearsal. Day 3 is demolition day. You have your vision, you have your ritual. Now you must create the space for the new to grow, and that requires a ruthless culling. You will remove one thing, one distraction, one convenience, one vice, one commitment that does not serve the new identity. Just one. It could be the social media app you mindlessly open. It could be the late night scrolling that steals your sleep. It could be the complaining session with a friend that only feeds your cynicism. It could be the sugary drink, the extra hour in bed, the gossip. You identify it and you remove it, not for a month. For 7 days, you create a void, and nature abhors a vacuum. That void will be filled. The question is, with what? Without that default distraction, Your mind will itch, it will scream, it will look for something to do. This is the critical moment. This is where you consciously fill that void with a piece of your new identity. You cut out an hour of TV. You fill it with an hour reading about your craft. You cut out complaining. You fill it with writing down 3 things you're grateful for. You cut out the snooze button. You fill it with 5 minutes of staring at your vision statement. This is the painful, beautiful process of editing your life. You are the sculptor, and the excess stone must be chipped away to reveal the figure within. The person you recognize is cluttered with the familiar debris of old habits. To become unrecognizable, you must make unfamiliar choices. Clean house. By day 4, the novelty has worn off. The initial excitement has faded. Your body and mind are rebelling. They want the old cozy, recognizable you back. They will whisper, "Just once won't hurt. Start again tomorrow. This is too hard." This, right here, is the furnace of transformation. This discomfort is not your enemy, it is the signal. It is the proof that you are leaving the old country behind. Today, you will not avoid discomfort. You will seek a deliberate dose of it. You will do the thing you've been putting off. The hard conversation, the workout that scares you, the project you've avoided starting, the apology you need to make, the no you need to say. You will lean into the friction. Because comfort is the currency of the recognizable life. It's the well-worn path, the predictable outcome, the safe bet. Discomfort is the language of growth. It's the muscle tearing to rebuild stronger. It's the mind stretching to grasp a new concept. Think of a lion in a zoo. It is fed, safe, comfortable. It is recognizable as a lion, but is it the essence of a lion? Where is its hunt? Its territorial roar? Its struggle, its majesty was born in the discomfort of the wild. Your spirit, your true unrecognizable spirit, is born in the wildness of chosen struggle. Do not pray for an easy life. Pray for the strength to endure a difficult one that leads somewhere worth going. Day 5, you're tired. The momentum is hard to sustain alone. This is where the silent, solitary work meets the world. You will state your new reality to one person. Not for praise, not for validation. For accountability, you look in the mirror and you say it aloud. I am becoming a person of X. Then you find one person you trust, or perhaps fear letting down, and you tell them. For the next 7 days, I am committing to this. Ask me about it. This act does 2 things. First, it makes it real. Words in the air between you and another person have weight. They create a tiny contract. Second, it shows you who is for you. Some people will be confused. Some will be skeptical. Some will feel threatened by your change because it holds a mirror to their own stagnation. Their reaction is not your concern. You are not seeking a cheerleader. You are seeking a witness. In the military, they don't build soldiers alone. They have a battle buddy. Someone to watch your back, to ensure you keep up, to call you out when you falter. Your journey to become unrecognizable needs a battle buddy. Even if that buddy is just the promise you made to someone else, echoing in your mind when you want to quit. This isn't about crowdsourcing your willpower. It's about adding 1 ounce of external pressure to the internal furnace. It's about hearing your own commitment reflected back at you. You will stumble on day 6. Or perhaps you've been stumbling. You missed a piece of your ritual. You indulged in the old vice. You chose comfort over growth. Good, I said good. This is not a script for perfect robots. This is a blueprint for human transformation. And human transformation is messy. It is a zigzag, not a straight line. The stumble is the test. Not of your plan, but of your character. The old you would use that stumble as an excuse. See, I knew I couldn't do it. I'll just go back. The person you are becoming uses the stumble as data, as fuel. You get up, not tomorrow, not next Monday. You get up in that very moment and you recommit. You do the next right thing. You complete the next task on the path. You don't let a single failure define the entire day, or worse, the entire endeavor. Fall down 7 times, get up 8. But the getting up, that's where the new muscle is built. That's where you prove to yourself that your commitment is not dependent on perfect conditions. It's dependent on a decision that is stronger than your momentary feeling. Your resilience is being forged. The recognizable you is brittle, shattered by the first sign of trouble. The unrecognizable you is antifragile. You are made stronger by the setbacks. The sun rises on day 7. You may not feel different. You look in the mirror and you might see the same faces as the final trap. The trap of expecting a Hollywood transformation. A sudden, dramatic, obvious shift. The most profound changes are often silent. They happen in the deep soil of the soul, long before the flower breaks the surface. Today, you do two things. First, you look back. You review the week, not with a critic's eye, but with a historian's eye. Document the evidence. Did you, even imperfectly, follow the vision? Did you honor the ritual? Did you survive the culling and embrace the discomfort? Did you get back up? See the pattern of your new behavior. That pattern, repeated, is what creates an unrecognizable life. Second, and most importantly, you lean in. You do not stop. Day 7 is not an end. It is a coronation. It is the day you crown the new identity not as a 7-day experiment, but as a permanent way of being. You decide that the person you've been practicing to be for this week is who you now are. You have walked a new path for 7 days. The undergrowth is trodden down. The direction is clearer. Now, you walk it again and again and again. So what happens after 7 days? You stand up straighter. You look people in the eye. Your yes means yes and your no means no. You are less swayed by opinion. You are more moved by purpose. The chaos of the outside world meets a new, quiet order within you. You are not easily defined by old categories. You have outgrown your old name. You have become unrecognizable, not because you grew a beard or changed your hair, but because you changed your core. You exchanged the currency of approval for the currency of integrity. You traded the map given to you by the world, and you picked up a compass that only you can follow. The world doesn't change in 7 days, but you can, and when you change, everything changes. Now, who will you be when the sun rises tomorrow?